Welcome to Practicing Awareness. Now, what is awareness? Life is awareness. How do you practice life? Well, you practice life by failing. Let's talk about that. But first, I'm Ed Conley, and I practice awareness. I've been practicing awareness since the 50s. I'm 89. I have a lot of awareness to practice. And I've come to the conclusion that practicing awareness is failing at practicing awareness. This is paradoxical. But everybody who succeeds on TikTok or in inventions or creating anything knows that the success comes after you practice failure. You have to practice failure with faith that success lies in the heart of failure. But you never know when you're going to be successful. Your success will happen accidentally. History proves this right. The autobiography of all the great inventions, all the great cures, healings, inventions, companies, the idea that works, all come through failure. A faith in failure. The faith that if I fail continuously, at some point, that failure will flip into success. But I will never know when that's going to happen because there's no manual for that. There's no recipe that will tell you when the dough will become the bread. It happens in the oven. Out of sight. Alchemy. So the practice of failure is the practice of success. And that's what Zen is. Zen is paradoxical teaching. But Zen is not just Zen. Zen is life. Zen is the practice of awakening. And life is awakened. Life is not things that are awakened, like humans, and snails aren't awakened, and fleas and ants, you see. All sentient beings are awakened. This is the truth of Buddha. Life is suffering. Now that means that in order to realize that life is awakening, you have to suffer failure. In other words, when you're trying to be awake, when you're trying to be successful, when you're trying to get respect, you're ultimately going to fail. And when that ultimate failure happens, and you never know when it's going to happen, when you hit rock bottom, life flips and turns over, and suddenly you're successful. You're successful at having failed at all trying to be successful. You see the paradox here, the irony? We have to face a salesman. I sold encyclopedias back in my youth. And the formula for success as an encyclopedia salesman was that if you know that if you knock on so many doors, you're going to get one who says, yes, come in. But you have to knock on all the doors. You have to fail. You have to fail at all the doors in order for that door to open and them to come in. And they would almost ask you to buy the books. But you have to knock on many, many, many doors. You have to succeed in failing. This is the paradox of it. Now we all have to go through this. We fail in marriage, and then suddenly we get the marriage that works. Every life is a customization of this formula, this practice of failure. And those who succeed know that that failure is the mother of success. All the movies are about that. All the action heroes are about the failure of success. or the success of failure. Mission Impossible, Indiana Jones, all of these action heroes are all failing to get the treasure, and then they get the treasure by accident, by stumbling upon it. All the myths and fairy tales are about stumbling upon the truth, stumbling upon the success, stumbling upon the miracle. Accidentally. Success is accidental. If you try to be successful, you're trying what you already know. And it's like looking for your keys in the house, your car keys, and you can't find them. This happened to my mother. She was still driving when she was 100. One day I went over there, and she was perplexed, and I said, "What's the matter?" She says, "I can't find my car keys. And I know they're in the house because my car is sitting out there, and I've been looking for 5 days. I'm going to have a stroke." She always said that. She never did. So I came back later, another day. She was happy. She says, "What happened?" She said, "Well, I just gave up looking. I just gave it to God." I said, she didn't say fuck it, but that's what she, fuck it. I quit. I give up looking. But she didn't give up looking because she still had to find the car keys. So there was kind of like a no man's land there where she gave up looking, but she didn't give up wanting the car keys. She just gave up trying to find them. And then she said, and then I just found myself walking down the hallway to the bedroom, and my mind would say, why am I walking down to the bedroom? And then I found myself going into the bedroom, and why am I going into the bedroom? And then I looked in my closet. Why am I looking in the closet? And then I put my hand in my sweater pocket. Why am I putting my hand in my sweater pocket? And there were the keys. Now, she wasn't told where to look, but her awareness that was sleeping beneath the cloud of thinking knew where the keys were. Awareness knows everything, but we put it to sleep under a cloud of thinking where we know. So our knowing is a cloud that keeps our awareness asleep. And awareness will not be aroused unless we leave the cloud of knowing and drop the cloud of knowing or looking or trying, you see. Awareness doesn't try. Awareness is already awake. Awareness is not trying to be awake. Awareness is awake. But it sleeps beneath the conscious thinking mind that thinks it should be awake. I think I should know. And by knowing, the cloud of knowing, you see, this little cloud in which the thinker dwells and lives, you see, takes pride in knowing and being in control. So when you lose the keys, there's panic. I should know. I should not lose the keys because that means I don't have any power. I don't have any control. And the controller panics, you see. So if you want to find the keys to whatever your endeavors are, try to find the limits of your knowing. And when you reach that limit and you realize that you're just looking for in the same place over and over again, like we do when we lose the keys, we'll look under the same magazine 5 times. Well, maybe I missed it the first time. We've run out of places to look, so we keep repeating. So when you run out of places to look, you can watch yourself looking in the same place again. Groundhog Day, over and over. Okay, I'm at the end of my time, so subscribe and follow. Let's kick this cloud of knowing down the road.